What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review for. No, I just did that. Love During Lockup, you guys. This is season 4, episode number 53, you guys. I really wish that they would do something better with these numbering, because this is stupid. But season 4, episode 53, episode title Once a Criminal, you guys. So, before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you guys aren't yet subscribed, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. And you guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning your post notifications on, you guys, sharing the video, and with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Love During Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, we pick up where we last left off with Letitia, right? You know, watching this episode tonight, well, last night, when it comes to Letitia, I don't know how serious she is because it just gives a fake front and storyline because some of the things that she's doing is just like, now, ma'am, you know better than that, right? Like, here's one thing that I want to point out. Well, actually, nope. We'll wait and get to it as we get into it, right? So we pick up with her having a phone conversation with Keith, asking Keith if he had sex with old girl, right? So she said he better call her back. So he did call her back, and she said, "Did you hang up or did the phone hang up?" He says the phone hung up, right? So she asked him, "Did you have sex with her?" He said, "You got to ask your girl." But then he ultimately said, no, he didn't have sex with her. But here's my thing. It's like they were kids when this happened, so I don't understand why Letitia is so concerned. It's really given that you are an insecure person. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting from Letitia, is that she's insecure. And I want you guys to tell me in the comment section what you guys think about that, because it's 100% given insecurities. So then, like I said, with Letitia, I just don't believe that anything with her is like 100% real. Because did you guys see that little blurb in the episode when she had those girls go into her office well, actually, I guess it's Keith's office, right? And she was introducing the girls to him via a phone call. And then you guys noticed there was a plaque on his desk with his name on it. It said Keith, President. Excuse me, y'all. It said president. And I was like, child, a lie don't care who tell it. Like, president of the company, of your company. Okay, girl, we'll give anybody a title, right? Never mind. So then, later in the episode, we saw Letitia as she went to go talk to an attorney about, possibly bringing Keith into her business. And it's just like I said before, you trying to bring this man into your business, it's stupid as hell. Like, let's be real about that. It makes no sense. It don't make any sense that you want to try to bring him into your business when he's in prison for a crime. You are dealing with people's money. Who in the hell is going to trust you with their money? Nobody. And that's what the lawyer told her. Like, you have a fiduciary duty to these people. And I was like, exactly. And she's like, well, he only went to jail for drugs. He said, there's still money involved with that. I was like, oh my God, girl. But then he was talking about you shouldn't have a felon in your business. I was like, but isn't she a felon as well? Because I know like before the episode 1 even aired, I know that people on Twitter had already found all of her mug shots that she got. So she done been to jail a few times herself, right? Letitia has been to jail quite a few times. But I was just like, girl, this can't be serious. So then she was talking about, how she wants to do more businesses with him, right? And so she was wondering how to protect herself. And so the guy was basically telling her how you might want to get a postnup. And so she was like, what's that? He says, it's the same thing as a prenup. You're just getting it now because you guys are already married. And I was like, oh my, but I was I'm just still sitting here thinking to myself, like, I just don't buy into this story. Like, Letitia can't be this insane, because that's really what it's giving. It's giving insanity. Like, it's giving insanity. It's giving I'm not smart enough to. But if you are a licensed CPA, then you're very, very intelligent. So I don't know why she's dumbing herself down for this, but it just like I said, you guys, I just really couldn't believe what I was watching because I just didn't believe that it was even legitimately real. But let's pause here, you guys, and let's go ahead and move forward to the next couple. All right, you guys. So next up, Renika and Asante, you guys. Renika, this hair, ma'am, this hair. It's not even the hair itself, because the hair is cool. It's these toddler hairs for me. So you guys remember, Renika is getting ready to go to where's she going to? Georgia, right? So that she can be with Asante. I was like, girl, you are just looking dumb too. Like when it comes to Renika and when it comes to what's her name? Letitia, they just give dumb dunce and just give dumb, right? Because I don't understand why Renika is moving to another state for a man that you don't know. Like, I think that's just really, just a little insane in the brain to just, I'm sorry, I don't get it. Why would I, like, why would you leave your family and your friends to go be with someone who you probably met him, know him social through the, social sphere, right? Like, phone calls and all that kind of stuff. And he's going to say anything and everything to you to, hook you in. And once he got you, right? But then let's also break it down and say, you don't know what he's doing in prison. You don't know who he's talking to outside of you. Because he's probably talking to many other people, right? Multiple people. And I think that's what her family's trying to get her to understand. So she and her mom are getting ready to go to her going away party, right? And her mama is trying to talk some sense into Renika. And I'm like, ma'am, I think that your daughter has a hard head, but a soft, you know what they say, a hard head makes a soft ass, right? For you to fall on. And I ultimately feel like Renika's gonna fall on her ass, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I think that that's gonna happen to her, right? So her mama just basically wants her to really just think about this before she actually makes this move. But Renika's like, I'm gonna make this move. I'm a grown ass woman. You're a grown ass woman, but you got two children, you got two kids. Like, show your kids the right way to go, because this is not it. It's just, again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with dating someone who's in prison, right? Especially if they've learned from what they've done. You don't want to hold anyone's past against them. But like I was saying, the real true issue is the fact that you don't know this man. You've never saw this man in person. So you're putting all of your eggs into this basket, hoping that it produces something bountiful and fruitful. But I don't necessarily know that it will. And like I said, I feel like she's gonna at some point have egg just smeared all over her face. So we see as they get to the party. Now it's a going away party, right? But she's also gonna be performing at the going away party. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, and I really didn't want that. And then she did it at the party. I was like, oh, that was her rap. That's her rapping skills. Renika, I'm gonna need you to work on them rap skills. Just, you weren't bad, but you definitely need to work on them skills, sis, because it wasn't giving what you thought it was giving. No shade to you. It just wasn't giving what you was thinking that it was giving. So she got to the party, right? Her family, her friends are there. And so once again, her family is telling her, like, we don't think that you should make this move. Once again, Renika's like, well, I'm gonna make the move. But they were like, girl, you moving for, I don't know if her cousin, or it said on the screen that that's her cousin, but then it said she said that's her sister, right? And it's probably like with me and my family, right? Like my cousin, we look at each other like brother and sister, but we're actually cousins, right? But her sister was like, I don't know if her sister was saying you chasing a nigga or if you chasing dick. Either way it goes, she was not wrong about either one of them. She is chasing dick and a nigga that she don't know. It's just chaotic, asinine that we're chasing a man that we don't know. Like, I'm uprooting my kids and myself from my village, the people who matter to me, the people who have my back, to go to another state for a man that I don't know. I don't know that when he gets out of prison that we're going to still be in a relationship long term. There are a lot of what ifs with this situation with Renika, but she don't give a damn, right? So at one point, she and her family got into it, and she had her family escorted right on up out of that empty ass party. I was like, ma'am, you're mad because your family. She was like, these bitches talking shit. They may be talking shit about you, but what you're mad about is the fact that those bitches, that as you call them, those bitches were telling you the real deal and the truth. And your ass just couldn't handle hearing the truth about this relationship. What the hell was that? Child, somebody down there by the pool and dropping shit, and I don't know what the hell it was, but it was a loud ass thud. The fuck? But yeah, Renika, yeah, listen to your family, baby. I listen to your family, because I don't think that this relationship is gonna go the way that you want to go. So let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and knock them out the way. I should have did them first, but let's talk about Andy and Brittany. So you guys remember in last week's episode, Andy was with his daughters, right? And his daughters revealed to Brittany that Andy had abandoned them, right? Now, Andy, one minute you want to say that it's not true, but then the next minute you say, well, I did leave for a couple. I didn't leave him for months or weeks at a time, but I did leave him for a few days. That's still the same thing. That means you weren't there for your kids. So it's still essentially for them the same damn thing, that you abandoned them, that you were not always there for them. Like, just own up and take some accountability and be like, you know what, yeah, I wasn't always there for my kids, but I was, and there's no excuse for not being there for your kids. Let's just keep it a buck. But damn, at least own up to the shit and at least take a little bit of accountability, right? So he's talking to Brittany, right? And Brittany is upset, right? Now, I will give Brittany one little tiny part of this, right? Like this little, right? He lied to her. Absolutely, he lied to her. So I'm okay with her being upset with him for lying to her. Now, where Brittany loses me at is the fact that you are this upset. Like, ma'am, you can't judge him on being a parent because you're not a good parent your damn self, right? You're in prison. So your kids probably don't even know you like that. Your kids don't even know you as their mother. You're not raising your kids. Hate to say it like that, but yeah, you ain't got much wiggle room. He ain't no better, but you damn sure ain't got that much wiggle room. You can be mad at that man for lying to you, but if he abandoned his kids, girl, you definitely have abandoned your kids, but that's neither here nor there, right? So she tells him she don't feel like he should come for the weekend. I'm like, I have to agree with that one, right? I have to agree with that. Because, I mean, I'm sorry. The thing is, it's not the fact, it is. It's the fact that he lied, but you told a stupid lie. You could have said anything. Like, you could have told her, like, yeah, there were some times that I dipped off away from my kids and I left my kids with their grandmother or whoever. You didn't have to lie about it. It made no sense to lie, but hey, he did, and she's pissed. And I ain't upset about it. But I am tripping about the fact that she has so much gallon and audacity. Because I was like, again, you have abandoned your children as well, ma'am. You're in prison. Remember that? Prison. Let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Jade and Chris. Jade and Chris. I don't understand either one of them, right? And their scene was actually very short this episode. So here's I think this is like part of the reason why when it comes to Love during Lockup, I don't like it as much, because when it comes to Love during Lockup, we mostly just see these people having phone conversations with their significant others, right? And unless they move over to Love After Lockup, we very rarely see these people, right? So with Chris and Jade, that's really all we got was him on the phone with her this episode. And they had a little FaceTime date where she changed into some lingerie. So she asked him when they first answered the phone, why were you freaking out like that? And he said, well, it's just because I was jealous. I was like, ma'am, do you hear what he just said? It's jealousy. Jealousy. That would be something for me to run from, because I get that, people have a little jealousy in them, right? But like she said, you're in prison. You put yourself in prison. So what am I, and that's why I say, what am I supposed to do when it comes to her? What is she supposed to do? Stop her life and serve her prison sentence with you? And y'all have been together for what? She said y'all have been together for what, 5 years at this point? Like, no. Hell to the nah. You're going to have to just be jealous, but don't blow my phone. I think that's the biggest problem. Don't blow my phone up consistent, like back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. Ugh. I would I would have turned my phone off, right? But hey, that's just me. So then she tells him that, she and Jess will be coming out there very soon. And, he still feels like Jessica don't have his best interest at heart. I'm like, why would she? I'm just asking a logical question. Why would she? That is her sister. You're her brother-in-law. You're like not her blood relative. So she's gonna have the back of the person that she's been, in her, that's been beside her for years and years and years and years. So why would she have your back, sir? Please make that shit make some kind of logical sense, because unfortunately it doesn't. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up is Brittany and Kid Rock, right? So, like I've been saying about Brittany and Kid Rock, they're very interesting to me. And the reason why I say that they're very interesting is not because of the trans relationship, it's really because of the fact that they're so young. And I feel like they are getting away. I feel like there's some immaturity on both sides, right? I think there's some immaturity on both sides. Because what Brittany is 22 and I think what Kid Rock is 25, they're very young and they're making these plans long term, right? They want to get married, they want to have children. I just think that they need to kind of pump their brakes, especially Brittany, right? Because you were in prison at 18. And I don't even know what age Kid Rock went to prison. So I think you guys might want to just get out of prison, figure out who you two are, right? And then try to see, okay, we want to get married, we want to do this. Like, I think that they are way too young, right? So Brittany's friend is over, and she noticed that there was a bed in the room because, I guess at one point Brittany was sleeping on the floor. And so she was like, how did you get this bed? Brittany didn't explain how she got the bed. I was like, oh, shadam. I don't think we want to know. So she said she paid for it, but I'm like, I don't think we want to know how she paid for it, but that's got nothing to do with us, right? So then, Brittany tells her friend that, she looked into she and Kid Rock having a baby. I think she was going to take Kid Rock's eggs and they just need a sperm donor. I was like, so do you, never mind. I was going to ask a question, but that might be a little bit insensitive, so neither here nor there. So, her parents. Remember, she spoke about her parents in last week's episode. So she's talking about how she wants to introduce her parents to Kid Rock. She wants to first start by introducing her dad to Kid Rock, and then introducing her mom. But she hasn't talked to her mama. And her friend was like, "Don't you think you might want to talk to your mama before you introduce him and her?" She's like, "No." I was like, yeah, you might want to. If you guys ain't got no relationship, I would say let's talk to mama first. Let's have a little conversation with mama. So Kid Rock and her are supposed to have a video chat, right? And she ended up missing the video chat. And, when she logged on, Kid Rock had logged off. And Kid Rock called her and was upset, like, I ain't getting on no more video chats. Like, I sat there and looked foolish for you. Okay. I mean, I can't tell Kid Rock how to feel. I honestly can't. And I ain't been in that position, so I don't know nothing about it. So it is what it is, you guys. But yeah, you guys, let's pause here and let's go ahead and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys, so the end of the episode, we are introduced to the new couple, Savannah and Jake. Savannah and Jake are very interesting for sure because we see Savannah and she is doing like some medieval times stuff, and I was just like, what's going on here? So she is a director for a performing arts company, but she's also an actor. And I'm like, well, you're not that great of an actress, ma'am. So I would kind of hang that up. Jake. Jake is in jail he's been in jail since he was 19 years old, and Jake is now 30. And so he said that when he was a senior in high school, him and his friends robbed a weed guy. I was like, well, damn, y'all were bold. Y'all were very bold to rob someone who sells marijuana. Because I don't know if I would do it, but, you know, do y'all. Do y'all, because that's a little bold for me. That's a little bit on the bolder side. Like, y'all was really bold to rob somebody who sold weed. So he gets out, I think in 5 years, he said, or I'm like, so why are we getting to know Jake if he's not getting out anytime soon? So I guess it's like her first serious relationship because she said before Jake, she was a hoe. I was like, okay, Mariah Lynn. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it. I was like, okay, Mariah Lynn, you were a hoe. We get it. So she wants to get married to Jake, right? But Jake won't entertain the thought of marriage. And I was like, ma'am, that might be a sign. I mean, that's just me being honest. It might be a little bit of a sign. But we kind of found out why. She said because her and his mother don't get along with each other. I was like, well, okay. And then we found out why. The mama went somewhere and met someone who said that, he did have a relationship with her. And she said, yes, they hooked up. And he gave a time frame. But she said the time frame that he gave, they weren't messing around because she was with Jake at the time. I was like, oh. Okay. I mean, if you say so, girl. Mama probably don't believe that. And so then we see as she was supposed to meet up with one of her friends so that they could. So she's trying to get Jake out of prison, right? And so she's gonna write to the governor to get him released. And her friend was supposed to come over, but her friend flaked on her. Then she called his aunt. His aunt didn't answer, right? And so she then. What did she say to his mama? Look at her like she's some kind of a bitch, right? I was laughing at that, but she's an interesting character. I will say that. I definitely will say that she's an interesting character. But yeah, she feels like he can't get past the fact that it was a rumor that she cheated on him, and ma'am. Never mind. I was going to say something. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. You guys, please subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on. Share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, you guys. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys later on in the live today at 5:30 p.m. Central Time for this episode of Love During Lockup. I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.